What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the KoloCast, a weekly podcast here hosted by us at the Kolosseum, and we're gonna be getting to know someone, one of your favorite players, if I'm being honest with you, YouTube, here this week. Before we get into him, I am your host, Mr. Aquaman, and joined by the one and only Flashyy every week, baby. What's going on, Flashyy?
What is going on, Aquaman? Love being here every week. It's always a good time. And yeah, like you said, every single time this individual appears in one of our YouTube videos, you can guarantee there's going to be some comments. You can guarantee there's going to be some choice words about it, and we can't wait to hear it. We can't wait to hear all about it. Mr. Aquaman, please bring him in. Let's have this conversation. It's going to be a fun one.
The current master of zoning in NetherRealm Games joining us today is going to be none other than Sooneo. Like I mentioned, some of our viewers' favorites. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing today?
Hi, how's it going? I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good right now.
Well, Sooneo, it's going to be great to get to know you a little bit more and maybe try to bridge that gap between you and some people that aren't so favorable about your play style in these games. And that's going to be one of my favorite conversations to talk about. But how I want to get started here today is, Sooneo, something that I don't even know, and I've known you for quite some time, is how did you get started competing in fighting games? What began this journey of keep away?
The funny thing is, say like 10 years ago when Street Fighter 4 was popular, I played that, and I played E Honda, who has no projectiles. He is the projectile. And I would play that, and my routine was I would take my pre-workout as I'm playing in ranked.
Yeah!
45 minutes out. Yeah. And then it gave me all pumped up and stuff, and then I go to the gym and have a great workout. And that's what I would do. And that's pretty much the only time I would play it. And my brother at the time, he was playing MK versus DC. And then the new MK9 was coming out, and we're real competitive. So we were always talking about, okay, when that game comes out, I'm going to beat you in it. And he said, no, I'm going to beat you in it. So that's how we got into MK9. That's how we got in the whole NRS scene and stuff. And we were just huge online warriors. And we, near the end of MK9's life cycle, we went to an NEC in Philadelphia. And we thought we were going to like do amazing. Like we're killing everyone online and stuff. And we go there and we had no idea about like the input delay with lag and stuff and online. So we both pretty much got mopped there. And that was like a huge eye opener for us. But
real quick,
that was our first tournament.
Real quick, Sooneo, was that 2012 NEC? It was one of the last ones, right? Because
it was probably 2012. I'll tell you what, though, it was like the worst tournament I've ever been to, because this is before Smash and stuff. When we get there, we both went with our girlfriends because we figure we go, the tournament, we check out the city and stuff. But dude, we're waiting around for hours. And then I remember seeing Rio there, and Rio had his matchup, and they're like, oh, Rio's out to lunch right now. So we had to wait like an hour for Rio to come back from lunch. But the funny thing is, I remember in the very beginning, they didn't have the brackets or nothing set up. So they're making them, and then they put them on these big sheets of paper and then put them on the hallway, all the pools. Yep. And then 16-bit comes out, and he's looking at them. Oh, why is he with him? He's like freaking out. So they take all the papers down, and they completely redo all the pools. But that took like another 2 hours. So we're waiting for like 5 hours before we even, like, the match or the tournament was supposed to start.
I was there.
A mess.
I brought it up because that was my first offline event as well. First major one.
Really?
Was that NEC? Yep.
Yeah.
Never even knew. Cool. I never knew. I never knew that Sooneo was there. This is incredible for me.
No. Oh yeah. I played. I lost to Big D, his Ermac, and I forgot who I lost to the second time.
I couldn't even name who I lost to, but I got bodied as well. I got bodied, and
But that, I'm like, me and my brother were real competitive, so us going there and getting bodied like that only encouraged us to get into the scene more. So I remember after that, I went on YouTube, and I'm like searching like all these MK videos and stuff, and I was like, and I found that there was a scene in Toronto, which is like an hour away from us. So we traveled out to Toronto like once a month to all their monthlies and stuff, and that they had Neil Russell, he does like the Toryukin and stuff. They had Winter Wars, PayPal is this Johnny Cage player, K-Frog was this Ermac. They had a pretty good scene. So we'd go there every month, and that's kind of how we got into the offline scene and stuff. And then I remember Neil Russell the one time, he knew we were from Buffalo, and he was asking about the Buffalo scene, and we're like, "What are you talking about? There's this fighting game scene in Buffalo." He's like, "Yeah, like there's one like 10 minutes from you guys." We had no idea. We're going over to Toronto across into a different country when there's a scene 10 minutes from us.
Oh
So
no.
that's how we found out about the Buffalo fighting game community, and yeah.
And then moving forward from there, so MK9 happens, you find out about the scene going on 10 minutes from your house. Now, new games are coming out. We go into Injustice, we go into MKX. What was kind of the rumblings going on
See,
over there?
so that's the whole thing is we got into the offline scene at the end of MK9's lifespan. So that's what, like just when Injustice was coming out. And I kind of hated Injustice just for that fact. So I never really gave Injustice.
Well, this is the end of this call.
I played a little bit, but I played Killer Frost. She was my character. I played for like a month, but I didn't like it. I wanted to compete in Mortal Kombat 9, but that had seen its day. So I just for that whole time Injustice was out, I just stuck to online, playing MK9 online, and kind of just like didn't really get into the offline scene for a while.
And then MKX rolls out, and then are you back to it?
Yep. And then I'm back to it. I remember going back. I remember very first competing in Injustice scene in Honeybee and Biohazard a lot. I had no idea who they were because they didn't play MK9 or nothing. But that's when they started getting their foot into it.
Was there something about MKX that brought you back in?
Just it being a Mortal Kombat
Just
game,
the fact that it was Mortal Kombat. That's the power of Mortal Kombat, Sooneo. It's crazy when I've been asked a lot, even recently, speculating as to what might come next from NRS, ripped the announcement at Game Awards. And people are like, what do you want? And I'm like, of course I want more Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is what brings people into this community. It's looking at the history, when MK9 dropped, when Injustice 1 dropped, MKX, Injustice 2, the biggest influx of people into the scene are when Mortal Kombat drops, whether it be 9X or 11.
See, I kind of want Injustice 3, but like you just said, all those factors you just said, I kind of want Mortal Kombat because
it's like a weird
bigger crowd. I love Injustice 2, so I would love an Injustice 3, but I don't know. Either one I'd be happy with.
Same actually.
Usually though, I when a new game comes out, I don't like it because I would rather the games have a longer lifespan because I really start getting into a game and then a new one comes out, I have to relearn a whole new game, and I usually don't like it in the beginning. Like Injustice 2 I didn't like, MKX I didn't like in the beginning. Mortal Kombat 11 I hated in the beginning. But I like it now. I like it a lot more now than I thought I would have.
Do you think that one thing, may have brought it up once or twice on a KoloCast before, so if I'm a broken record, I apologize. But the fact that NetherRealm changes their game incredibly, drastically every single time, that is not a good thing, I think, at the end of the day, when you're trying to keep, when you're trying to build one community to last. And it makes it so that, them being so different, it's hard to stay consistent with the latest game, and that's why you see so many people fall behind and stick with MK9 or quit after MK9, quit after Injustice 1, quit after MKX, because the next game comes out and it's nothing like the previous game, and it's if it's Mortal Kombat, nothing like the previous iteration of it.
Nothing at all. And I mean, you look at MK11 for example, it's completely different. And most of the changes I can't stand, like fatal blows, a meter system, I can't stand those changes at all. But there are things I like. Like I like short hops. There's a lot of things you can do off of that. I like the flawless, even though flawless blocking is kind of disadvantage for a zoner. I like the flawless blocking mechanic.
Yeah, we just talked to him just right before you jumped on the call, and he was like, "Dude, flawless block is like." He's like, I just shake my head every time I see it. He's like, I can't stand it anymore, man.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I know, on plus frames and stuff, people can still like flawless block and get the the up 3, and you're kind of punished for being plus and stuff. I understand all that, but like I think like zoning, like blocking projectiles and stuff, and getting in and taking less chip damage and stuff is a pretty cool mechanic.
So you're bringing up the terminology. So I say we get right into it. You're bringing up zoning a lot. I want to before we get into the actual play style, because It's interesting. I don't think we've had anybody yet. We've had people that come on the show that they're a specific character, and yeah, you are involved with RoboCop very well, but it's your play style. You're walking back, you're playing these mind games with people. At what point, if you can remember, were you like, you know what? This is how I have to play the game. Because you're saying you're playing Street Fighter 4 with no projectiles, you're moving up, you're playing different games. At what point do you sit back and you're like, this is how I'm going to play and this is how I'm going to win?
I don't know. Maybe
There had to be a turning point at some point where you're like, I'm just going to mess with these dudes and they're going to lose because they're in their own head against me.
yeah, I would say in MKX is when I really started doing it. I mean, in the beginning I played Katana, and she's a good zoner, but she's not with her fans and stuff, but she's not like a annoying zoner. But then when they made a certain patch change in her mournful variation,
That's
which
the
is
definition of annoying.
yeah, super annoying. And that's when I'm like, man, I could sit back and shoot these projectiles and chip them to death, and they have to come to me. And that's where my playstyle kind of formed.
Mm.
And I know a lot of people, they look at me playing and are like, how does this dude even find this fun? Like, this looks so boring the way he's playing. But dude, I'm 36 years old, so I grew up playing Atari games, Nintendo games, where all you're doing is going around shooting little guns and like doing platformers and shit. I find that fun, and knowing that it's someone else I'm playing against that's getting pissed off or is having a hard time coming to me makes it even better.
You're basically turning a fighting game into an Atari game
Yeah,
where
this is a little
yeah, where you're the boss on the other side
8-bit
and you're
stage,
just
yeah.
and you are just creating the stage that they have to get through to get to you, which is a really interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like the level 10 boss they're trying to get to, and they're getting super pissed because they can't get past the projectiles, and then they'll try using interactable to get in. I just shoot them out of the air, and they get even more pissed off. But in my defense, I feel in a lot of these games, a lot of players now play to win. That's why you see so many Jackies and such, because a lot of them are just playing to win. They want to get their name out there and stuff. So if zoning is so good, how come you don't see hardly any of it? If most players are playing to win, how come you hardly see any zoning? How come you hardly see any RoboCops? Because people say, well, the trolls on YouTube say it's easy to do and stuff, but it's not. And the high level, you hardly ever see it. You know what I mean?
And you know, this is a shot right at them, Sooneo, and now's the time to say it. If it's so easy, enter the bracket and do it.
Yeah, do it. They're like, oh, I could do low auto, and
I would have fucked all these kids. I would have fucked them up.
They're the casuals. They're not seeing the layers that's going on. Like, everything is conditioning or making like little reads and stuff. There's a lot to it. There's a lot going on in the background that they're not seeing. I guess they just see it as zoning, or what is zoning, but they don't see the layers behind it.
So what is the science behind it? Like, is it the frame data? Is it, again, you were saying like it's conditioning your opponent? Kind of, can you go into where it is when you're about to sit down and you're playing a tournament set, where is your brain going? What are you telling yourself that needs to get done in order for you to win that set?
Keep them away from me so I can but no, like, it's all like you're trying to, especially at full screen, you're trying to control what they do. So you're doing things to get them to move the way you want. You're trying to get them to jump when you want them to jump. It's all and it's just hard to explain.
I definitely get it though, man. You're literally utilizing all the tools you have to make the opponent be where you want them to be. And at this point, it's across the stage.
It's it's the same game everyone else plays, except for most people play that game with their normals and their movement, which is the same as Sooneo does with RoboCop. Happens to have some great movement backwards and forward, which is executed really well on your behalf as well, Sooneo. Wave dashing, not easy. I don't see a lot of you wave dashing. Just saying.
No, yeah, RoboCop has pretty good movement.
Yeah, but it's
his dashes are really good.
It's that same thing where with your normals and with your movement, you can. This is footsies 101. Almost the definition of footsies is getting your opponent to do what you want them to do, and punishing them for it. And it's the same thing with a projectile. If you do so many low shots, yeah, they're going to jump at some point or get within a certain range at some point, and then the options change, and then you're again playing a different game now of what am I going to do to try to get them to do this, and try to punish them for it. And that's fighting games, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's a lot like, especially in MK11. They're not flawless blocking things. They're not working their way into flawless block. I mean, understand like Combat League and stuff. You're not really, Combat League is like my practice and stuff. I'm not like super try hard trying to flawless block it, but every like projectile and stuff. But when you're in a tournament and stuff, it's not that hard to flawless block these projectiles if you're really playing the game and competing at a certain level. So there are some players out there that I play that they'll like can work their way in flawless block, like DJT. He's
Ridiculous.
crazy. He flawless blocks everything. He works his way in, and I'm pretty much playing the whole match face to face with him because he's a seasoned vet and he's super patient, and he doesn't go online and bitch and complain about everything. He goes and practices it, and it makes it super tough for me. I hate playing against him for that reason. But you don't really see that because people don't want to put in the time, or they want to just jump with Jackie, get right in, and get a 40% hit combo. And then when they can't do that, they're crying about it. And
how does the gameplay or the what would be the word? Kind of the game plan. How does that change when you're losing the health lead and now you got to start moving forward? Does that change in your head, or you're like, I don't care about the health lead. I know what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna stay back.
That completely changed. That
I think we broke him a little bit.
I'm just trying to. I mean, yeah, there are matchups specifically with RoboCop where I have to go in. I can't just sit back and zone them, especially when they have the life lead. He does have good tools up close. It's also one of those things where if you know the matchup more, when he's up close, there's a lot of gaps and stuff that people really don't take advantage of. Like when I play Kerbo and Ludi, they play me a lot, so they know all about the ways to take advantage of RoboCop up front. But a lot of players don't. Like they don't know that you can interrupt his sniper, his cannon. So
don't get on the tech now.
Oh no!
There's a lot to learn. His and the variation I play, his bread and butter combo off his mid, his forward 3 is 19% combo, and you can break away from it and full combo punish it off a 19% combo. But a lot of players don't know that, so they don't do it. They'll just get chipped back, and I don't know. I don't know.
I think what Soonio's trying to get across is stop complaining and like look for the answer.
Yeah, go find the answer somewhere.
Just go find it, and that goes back to we talked to Unjust in the previous episode. It was not too long ago, and talking about labbing in general and how I can tell you from experience. I can tell both of you from experience. Everyone watching, I don't lab. And it's why I get absolutely shit on in a lot of those situations because I just hold stuff I shouldn't have to hold. And that lack of knowledge can really be frustrating. So I definitely get it, even from a viewer standpoint of watching it happen. But options can exist, and there are those mind games behind it that even at a basic fundamental fighting game level you can appreciate. And that's why I love watching. That's why I love watching you play Sooneo, is because it's a very methodical thought process behind a lot of the reads that you make. And when you're right on those reads, boys, that look magical. A couple of those upshots, even last night as I was watching. Yeah.
And they're not that. I mean, I don't have the quickest reactions by no means, and they're not that hard to react to, especially when someone's jumping off interactable and just flying in on you. It's not that hard.
I find that people's reactions are pretty bad, Sooneo, because I find anti-airing in MK11 to be one of the best and easiest in NRS history. I love anti-airing in MK11.
It's not as bad as people say it is.
Yeah, there was this great misconception for I think a year straight where anti-airs simply didn't exist in MK11, and I have found that to be the complete opposite case, especially moving forward. So yeah, just keep at it, keep trying. That's all I'm gonna say to everyone at home that might be trying to get into these games. Anti-airs exist, answers. I believe, and find answers in the lab. Sooneo, do you
even flawless blocking jump ins? I mean, you see Bio do it all the time.
Yeah,
Speaking of that, I know Aquaman does something, but your sets against Biohazard, bro,
Oh,
are literally every time. They're just bangers. It doesn't matter when, where, what tournament. Every single time it's Sooneo versus Biohazard. Even the people that got those choice words to say in the comments, they was like, you know what, though? That
they
set
were
was
like,
pretty
this
fucking
match,
sick.
yeah.
That set was pretty fucking sick.
Bio is my like arch nemesis.
Yep.
Ever since MKX, I mean, we really go back and forth. I mean, we play a lot. He's probably the one I like. I don't really play that many sets with people. I don't ask people for sets. They ask me, I'll play. But him and we play a good amount of sets. But ever since MKX, we go back and forth. I mean, in
Wow.
Justice 2, we went back and forth in tournaments, and in MK11 we go back and forth in tournaments. And it's always been like that. Like when we play, I have no idea who's gonna win. It's like it's just it can go back. Like the one time we had the Outworld Television finale, and he mopped me 3-0 to make top 8. And the very next day was Evil online, and I beat him 3-0. And
Wow,
Evil, like,
this rivalry goes so
back.
much deeper than I could even realize, because most people know of it of late when Monday Night Meta happened, and it was the infamous winners finals and then grand finals where Biohazard made the comeback happen. It was ludicrous. It was ludicrous.
I was hoping Gur would win because I was more comfortable playing Gur, and
I had a feeling.
I know with Bio, I was like, either I'm gonna beat him or he's gonna steamroll me. It's gonna be one of those. Like I don't know. It's just
go back and watch that.
Up.
It's on Destroyer's channel. Destroyer re-uploaded it for Monday Night Meta on that, and then I think it was a week later. It was a week or two later. You guys ran it back on the Kolosseum, and that's actually on our VOD right now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
he
did
got me
comment
in
on
that too. Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
moving forward,
the past 2 games he's up on me. Yep.
That just means you're due for the next one.
Yep.
That's all it is.
You know what Bio does, but I think it's funny. We play a lot of casual, so on his YouTube channel, he'll upload a lot of them. But what he does a lot, which is funny to me, he'll like take 5 games out of our whole set, and on the clip picture, he'll put first to 5, like. And he'll just take, like, we're just playing a set, but in the clip he'll say first to 5, Rambo versus RoboCop, and then he'll play like 5 games of him winning or whatever, and like the people in the YouTube comments just are going crazy. Oh, look, he just being in a first to 5 against Rambo, like they just it's crazy to me. Like, first of all, we're just playing a casual set, like learning stuff, and second, like, it's not first to 5, it's just a set. People just have and like the scores at the top, so they can obviously see that it's not first. I don't know. It's just
third. It's Rambo.
That was just an example, but
you got to get those clicks, man. You got to get those clicks.
Yeah, that's right. It's all. And speaking of, this will be a nice little segue into. You don't stream or have an active YouTube, do you, Sooneo?
No, I mean, I have a YouTube. I'm not trying to promote it. I'll make a video, and that's just where I upload it, because Twitter can't. So I don't really. I'm not trying to like get subscribers or anything. That's just where, if I want to make a video, I'll just upload it to YouTube. So I have a YouTube, but I don't. It's not something I'm like trying to promote.
That's interesting. So you're just playing the game competitively. That's just where your focus is at.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see these days. Usually, it's like if they're a player. I'm looking at your YouTube channel. You were uploading 9 years ago. You were one of the first.
Ooh.
One of the OGs around here. You were uploading 9 years ago.
MK9.
MK9.
Yeah.
MK9. Oh yeah. Wow, this is crazy. This is a throwback. So did you ever, think about maybe like getting into the content world, or are you just like, I just like playing, man? And
I don't think I would have time with work and everything anyways.
That actually, that'll bring me to the next point. So earlier you said you were 36, which I did not know.
Yeah.
So that means you've been in the space for quite some time. What are some things that you've seen have changed, quote unquote, drastically since the MK9 days all the way up to now? You've kind of been through all of it. You're one of the few people that can speak to it. What are some things that have changed, whether just on offline or just in terms of the community in general? What are some things that you've noticed have been a major change from your days going to Toronto in MK9?
Well, like, I was part of the funny game scene back then, but I didn't have a Twitter or nothing, which Twitter is huge now. I didn't even, during MKX, I didn't have a Twitter. The only reason why I got a Twitter was because I made, in Injustice 2, I made top 8 at NEC, and Old Man Guido, he like runs a lot of he comes up to me and he's like, dude, what's your Twitter? I'm like, I don't have a Twitter. But oh, you got to make a Twitter. That's where all
This
the
is why I
tournaments
didn't
are and
know
stuff.
about him before this, by the way. It's why I had no idea he existed.
So I made a Twitter for that, to talk about tournaments and gameplay, stuff for that. But I don't know. I like um back in the day, it just seemed like when there was beef was just straight up in game. It was
Mm.
trash talk in game, and everything was kept in game. And now it's just like so much drama and stupid things. And I think that having streamers and stuff is kind of brought in a new crowd of people that I don't really like, to be honest. It's just too much drama. I just go on Twitter. I just want to talk about the game. I love beef, but like in-game beef.
Yeah.
You don't see that hardly as much as you do other stupid
Yeah, it's just
drama type.
every single time I see a twit longer,
Yeah.
I'm like, this has nothing to do
No.
with the game or
No.
really the people that are even, and 9 times out of 10, it's not even people that I recognize from a bracket. Like,
Yeah.
most people don't even compete that are the most vocal these days. Sooneo, that's a good conversation to have. But
And it's like
it's like,
people
what the fuck?
look what someone said and post a DM. Like, isn't a direct message like private? Isn't that you
Yeah.
and your friend having a private conversation? Why are you sharing it to everyone? And now you're making it this huge ordeal. I don't know.
And then like 2 days later, they're like, "Oh, we're all cool now. It's all good. It's all good." Every time.
Everything's settled out.
Right?
We figured
Every
it
time.
out. We're good. I'll be streaming later. Check
Oh
my-
no.
No, but there are a lot of streamers I like, but there are a lot that just are for the drama. and
You know what? I really liked how you were talking about your kind of back and forth with Biohazard. I think that's literally like as good as it gets, because like when you guys are playing, it's like there's that there's that competitiveness to it.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But it's neither one of you are going on Twitter after being like, yo, Suneo's fucking trash. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's like you guys are playing, and you even said, you're like, yeah, he mopped me, but next time I'm gonna get him. Like that's
Yeah.
that's the core of it, and I think that's absolutely awesome that you're still able to hold on to that from 10 years ago, and you're not getting lost and muddied up and all of this other crazy stuff going on. So big
Yeah.
respect to you for doing with that. And let's talk about this might be interesting. I didn't think we were going to talk about this. We brought it up a little bit, but the comments in your own mind, right? Like you're reading these comments, you're seeing these people saying this stuff about it. Even if you say you don't read comments, I'm sure you know
Oh, I
the
do
things
read
people are.
some
Yeah.
comments. Yeah.
How have you? I just kind of like to talk about this with people because it's just like I think it's really important to understand not to let it ruin who you are and stuff like that. And can you just speak to how you deal with seeing all these people just bad mouthing you over the fact that you play RoboCop and shoot a gun? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, well, first of all, I would say I think the whole thing behind it, a lot of it is jealousy. I mean, um, you, it just like sport or anything where someone does good, everyone has haters and stuff. And I think most of it is just jealousy. They see me playing my game plan is very simple and it's a basic game plan, but so they see that and like, oh wow, like how is he doing this? And again, this far in tournaments and he sucks. Like I could do that, and it's just I think it's jealousy. Uh, to the very core of it, that's what I feel it is. I mean, even Dragon gets a
Oh,
ton of hate on these
yeah.
comments, but he's like one of the best players in the world, and I watch him play and I see everything he's doing and respect it. But these casuals have no idea what he's doing. They just see him throwing rocks or whatever. But no, I don't. It doesn't bother me at all. When I started competing, I mean, like I said, I'm very competitive. Ever since high school and middle school, I always played sports. So this is like my outlet now for my competitiveness. Um, I just play for me. I just play to prove to myself I can do good. So as long as I'm happy, I'm fine. Like I've won a few tournaments offline. I've won tournaments online. Like everything I've done up to this point, I'm very happy with, and I'm proud of myself that what I've done. So when I see people saying, "Oh, you suck" or this or that, I think it's hilarious.
I think it only makes him
reading it.
stronger, guys. I think it
yeah,
only
just
makes
powers
Sooneo
him up.
stronger.
That's it. You're just giving him more power.
And then like you try to argue with one of them, and then the reasons they're saying why you suck is just laughable. Like they have no idea what they're talking about. So you just have to like brush it off to the side. Like I don't know how else to put it. I think it's hilarious. Or when dude, you should see my PlayStation.
Oh,
I don't even.
no,
I didn't even think
insane.
about that.
I made
no.
a video. Like a year or two ago. I made like I was like a collage of all these messages I've
Can you
gotten
send that to
on.
us by chance?
Yeah.
Is that the
It's,
Sooneo highlight reel video?
no, it's of Mighty Unjust is actually in there.
Oh
I'm
no!
cool. We're cool. I'm cool with Mighty Unjust. But that's from the Injustice 2 days. It's
That's funny.
it's like you ever watch those like inspirational videos where they have like quotes and stuff. I made it in like that context, but with hate.
Everyone just like, talking shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
I would love to see
like
this.
the really bad stuff I didn't put on there because it's insane to me, some of the stuff.
That's the
people will
internet.
send
There's
you.
there's some unholy things on the internet.
To bring it all around, as long as you're laughing at it, man, and you're happy with yourself, bro. Like to take the serious part out of this fun conversation, like
Yeah.
if you're laughing at it and you're happy with yourself, bro, nobody can say shit. Nobody can say anything.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I might have had it on YouTube. I might have had it of. Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it's on Twitter too. I uploaded. All right, what do you want me to? I'll message it to Aquaman. Right.
Yeah, send it over to him.
We'll put a little bit of it in this video, Flashy, something like that.
Yeah, I'll edit some
get the
funny
people-
parts over it.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
think it got a decent amount of views on Twitter.
I'm telling you right now, it'll get a ton of views live right now on YouTube if you were to do it all over again for MK11. That's
I was
his
thinking
content
about
right
doing
there. That's his
second
content.
An
version.
MK11
This is-
version.
I mean, I have a
This is
lot of
Soonio's
material.
content.
I can.
I want you to put out
That
one,
content.
put out one video a year, and it's just the year's worth of comments. That's it. That's the plan.
That's all you need to do.
100,000 views guaranteed. Sooneo, I've got an interesting question for you about all of this, and it's one of the missing pieces of the puzzle that is you. How do you find your character? Because you've gone through a lot of characters, like in MK11 specifically, you had Next Gen Jackie, and then you had RoboCop. What was it about RoboCop, and what was it about Mournful, and what was it about in Injustice 2? You had Green Arrow and Cyborg, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. With picking a character, it's weird. It's pretty basic for me, but for some reason, the one big
I
thing
think I have an answer, but I don't want to say it.
mid project.
No, I was gonna, most annoying as possible. That's what I had written down.
Which is usually a mid projectile.
That's actually true.
It's the only criteria he's looking for here.
A huge thing for me is having some control in the air. Like when you jump, you have some type of something you can do, some special move you can do in the air, so you're not just floating. Like RoboCop, I never really mained him before customs because, I mean, you kind of need low shot for him to be viable. But in that variation, Prime Detective or Prime Directive, whatever, he doesn't have OCP charge. So when he's in the air, he's just kind of floating there, and I like to jump. So having some type of mind games while I'm in the air is a must for me. So every character I've ever mained, they have some type of control in the air. Like I play Scarlet a little bit, but she has nothing in the air. I wish she had her and MK9 daggers. Remember her dagger? She would shoot down diagonally.
Mm-hmm.
If she has something like that, that would be something I would definitely look forward to. But yeah, that's a huge thing for me is having some air control.
It was crazy that Aquaman just brought up Next Gen Jackie, dude. I completely forgot. And again, we never met before this call. I only ever like saw you playing in tournaments and stuff. Back when it was only 2 variations, I played Next Gen Jackie. I mained her because of a tournament you were in at the beginning of MK11. I'll never fucking forget. I was like, yo, this dude is working this plasma and like that damage over time. This shit is crazy.
Good.
And then she had the bubble for the back throw KB.
Yeah.
Dude, that's just unlocked a memory I forgot I had, that I literally was playing Next Gen Jackie. I mained her because I saw you playing her in a fucking tournament.
Cool.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
I forgot. Listen,
Yeah.
I can't say the same about RoboCop, but when you you showed the world Next Gen Jackie, yo, you changed the fucking game with that. That was crazy, man.
No one was using
well,
Next Gen.
you mentioned the bubble. A lot of people don't know when she's in the bubble, she takes a third less damage to special moves.
And
a
dude,
lot
the
of people
mind game
didn't
of the
know that.
bubble, especially like after the first game, now it's like nobody wants to block because they don't want to take that 30%. They think you're going to back throw. Now you have a
Yeah.
free forward throw because they're going to tech the back throw in the bubble, or they're going to be ducking, so you get the free forward 3 full combo. Like,
Yeah.
bro, next gen Jackie was the shit, and you unlocked that character at the beginning of MK11. So that's fucking awesome. I completely forgot about that. I'm so happy that I got to finally like say that to you in person or on the call, whatever. That's fucking awesome, man.
Well,
That is
I
so
mean,
cool.
next gen Jackie was really good. She was I wouldn't
Oh
say
yeah.
she was like top 3, but she was really good.
Hmm.
Now take her and make her twice as good, and you got Jackie now. Like it's
Oh.
just it's insane. It's insane to me how good Jackie is now. But yeah, dude, next gen was good. I like next gen a lot. She was that was the only reason why I really played MK11 because that was the only character I had fun with.
Hmm.
Really,
Combos
I
were
mean,
sick, man. The combos were so fun. And then yeah, that air control you're talking about, you could shoot the plasma bubble down when you jumped up.
yeah,
So you
and
weren't
I
just
had
falling, you could
the air
bubble it.
dash. The air dash, you can go over projectiles and stuff. So
Dude.
Oh, we
Oh
had
my
the
goodness,
dive
man.
bomb in next gen,
Dive
right?
bomb,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a
Yep.
dive bomb. Wow, I completely forgot that move existed.
Early days, man. The early days of MK11. Two ranked variations. People forgot. There's people that don't even know that's a thing, probably, that are playing MK11.
It's crazy that a time and place exists on planet Earth where Jackie was punishable at some point.
At some point.
at some point. Sooneo, I hope that people that watch this get to know you a little bit better. I hope that they're a little bit less negative when they watch your play. And guys,
They're still
if you absolutely hate
it's
zoning,
not
I
good.
mean,
Oh, dude, I can't
honestly,
wait to see the comments
please,
for this
please,
video.
please keep the comments coming because
Yeah, the comments are
that
good.
just helps us
Me and
out.
Aquaman always laugh, and like we'll put out a video and we just see like somebody talking shit and we just laugh. It's like, dude, it's so funny, man. It's so funny.
Dude, so many of them they're like dead serious with the things. Like they're like raging in these comments, and you can feel their emotion in it. And
You
that's
could
like,
just
like
feel them
reading
sitting.
it like,
You
do
could
they
just
really think this is gonna bother me? Like, oh my
you can
god.
just feel their energy looking at a screen like this and going, "Stop fucking shooting up a full screen!" You know, like that's what I imagine sometimes when people. That's just a little bit too much. But that's what I envisioned here. But like I said, I hope that they've gotten to know you a little better and can start to appreciate the gameplay a little bit more. At the end of the day, zoning is zoning, though. But Sooneo, I'm glad to have had you on here, and I've gotten to know you a little bit more. I can't believe that Flashyy just got his mind blown that that he was reminded that he picked up a character.
I made next gen for seasons, like seasons of Combat League. I only played next gen with the with season 2 Combat League skin, the white and blue, where she has blue eyes.
Season of time.
That's it. GG. GG. Sooneo, you influenced me more than I ever even knew, and we just been on this call just now. It's crazy. And I guarantee, you know what? You are probably influencing some other players that are like, wait a minute. This mind game and staying back is actually probably pretty fucking good. So you're spawning a new generation of these zoners,
the Church
man.
of Zoners, baby. The Church of Zoners coming up from the ground. And I didn't know anything prior than MKX about you, Sooneo, at all, and let alone to find out that we actually went to the same first big offline event.
Yeah.
I was there too. I knew nobody. I went 0-2.
No.
I got fucked. That bracket. I got vortexed by a scorpion. Do you know what it's like to lose to Scorpion in MK9?
That's probably the Scorpion I lost too, because I lost the Scorpion. I remember
dude, he was mixing. But anyways, my hands were shaking. It was terrible. But I can't believe that you were there, and I wish we had met even prior. And that's crazy to learn almost a decade later that we were in the same building, 10 years ago, essentially.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah.
Well, Sooneo.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that offline scene too. You know, that's where I think the heart of fighting game is. And I think a lot of the newer players coming in, especially because of COVID and stuff,
they just haven't experienced it.
They haven't experienced it yet, so they don't. They're really not. You know, once they do, it might change things a little bit. You know,
seeing all the positivity that came out of CEO is kind of the saving grace of this year. Is that everyone was like, "Oh, this is what it's like to not have to worry about Twitter and online bullshit."
That's what it's all about. That's what it's. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Sooneo, I'm going to give you the floor before we get out of here to, I don't have a lot to promote, but are you competing in anything coming up? Is there anything in the future for you in fighting games other than just continuing to compete?
Yeah, I see myself playing fighting games forever. I can't see myself not playing. it's just like I said, it's my competitive outlet. I need something to compete in, and fighting games
And
is where it's at. And
I
I don't care how old you are. I wanna set an example for people out there, for the older crowd, that you can still compete at a high level and be almost 40 years old. Like there's no age limit to it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like
Hell yeah, man.
you might have some washed up players because they're older, but that doesn't mean that when you get to that age, you're gonna be washed up too. I don't know. You're not gonna be like Mr.Aquaman. You'll be like Sooneo.
Exactly.
Well said.
Exactly.
There we go. Beautiful.
Exactly.
said.
No, I'm
Sooneo.
joking,
But
joking.
Sooneo, even to this day, and why I started competing in fighting games was originally, and I mean originally, I picked up fighting games because it was my competitive outlet. It was a way for me to release some form of aggression and anger at the end of the day in a safe place, right? In a safe space that ended up turning into a positive space. And so I resonated with that so much when you talked about it earlier, because that's exactly why I still play fighting games. It's not for any other reason, but except for that's my outlet to release some steam and to do a mid command grab.
See, that's another thing. So I'm real competitive, but I'm not like, I get salty and stuff, but I'm not like someone when they lose, they're like all angry and mean and stuff. Like, yeah, everyone gets salty, but I'm like, like people see, like they talk about me teabag and stuff, dude. When I was younger with my friends, we played Halo and stuff, and we were teabagging the crap out of each other.
Oh yeah,
like
ruthless back then.
and like we get pissed off at each other, but after everything's done, we're joking around, having a good time. Like, so people just take things way too serious.
and that's what it's like offline, Sooneo. That's what it's like offline.
Yeah. And like you fatality, like we're playing Mortal Kombat, you fatality someone and you're toxic. It's like it's insane to me that I'm doing a fatality and I'm toxic for it. Like it's just, it blows my mind. So when people get pissed off about it and like, don't fatality me, you're so toxic, I'll beat them again and fatality again. Like it's just, don't let me know what
part of the
pisses
mind
you
game.
off.
Exactly.
I'll keep doing it.
The
Like,
mind games. Yep.
I don't talk trash out of the game. Everything's kept in game. So I don't know.
So much respect, man. Sooneo, you said it best. This was awesome. And I think I speak for Aquaman myself and all the people in the comments that we can't wait to see you in future Kolosseum events, future online events.
My next video, yeah.
Dude, we love seeing you on Kolosseum, man, especially when it's you and Biohazard. That rivalry is something that's going to be remembered in MK11 for a very long time. And when the next game comes out, we can't wait to see what character you jive with and start to crush it with, man. But seriously, thank you so much for taking the time. Again, everybody, please do follow him on the Twitter. He's gonna have an MK11 Salt Thread YouTube video coming out soon, so go check out his channel.
Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, keep an eye out for it. But seriously, man, thank you so much. That was a ton of fun. Again, we can't wait to see you keep competing and keep crushing it for the old guard out there. Thank you so much for coming on here, man. Everybody, please be sure to subscribe to the Kolosseum channel. We're gonna catch you guys next week for another episode of the KoloCast.